Hello, everyone. Welcome back to No Fear 2A News. I'm your host, John Berger. So today I want to talk about the credit card debacle that is happening that a lot of people seem to be making a ton of money on right now. And I say a lot of people seem to be making a ton of money on it because there is a lot of fear mongering going on over this that I feel. With that being said, could there be a reason to worry? Perhaps. But overall, I don't think it's that big of a deal. At the end of the day, what's happening is a code is being set up by some international, BS. I don't remember exactly what it is. If you're that up to date on it, you already know. But all it is a code that's being set up for retail or for credit card companies to say, hey, this type of item was bought at this establishment. So I keep hearing that it's going to lead to registries and they're going to know what you're buying and they're not going to let you buy guns. And how the heck do they know if you're buying guns? First off, maybe if you're going to Cabela's or a big box store, even Walmart, perhaps then they'll know exactly what you bought because they're scanning barcodes, things like that. Even then, I'm not 100% sure that they know exactly each item that you bought. Over the years, I've had several times where my bank card or my credit card was disabled because somehow somebody got the number and I get a call from fraud detection and they're like, hey, we have a couple suspicious charges. Were these you? And then I'm like, yeah, no, that wasn't me. They bought friggin' $350 worth of magazines in China. No, not me. Dead serious, that happened. And then there was another time where they're like, hey, was this charge you for $2? I'm like, yeah, I work at Walgreens. You just said it was at Walgreens for $2. I just bought a loaf of bread when I got off work. So, yeah. While on one hand, it's kind of a pain in the rear, at the end of the day, really not a big deal. Now, could that become, this is where I'm like, maybe there could be a worry, because what if they start just, every time that code pops up, flagging your card and going, oh, we're shutting it off until we know that this wasn't fraudulent, which, I mean, really, there's a harassment aspect there that I think is going to be a big deal, but at the end of the day, I don't see how it leads to a registry. I don't see how it infringes upon anybody's firearms rights. Now, if it gets to the point where they're just not allowing purchases to go through that are having that code linked to them, then that's an issue. But again, if you're going to a big box retailer, I don't know how, like, again, let's say Walmart. I don't know how they differentiate what is being sold unless it's just by the barcode. But then they got a list of everything you have ever purchased, which at that point, I think you should be really worried about that in the first place, let alone just them knowing what firearms you're buying. Call me crazy. Now, as far as, getting away from the big box retailers, I've never been to a gun shop that scans a barcode. Every gun shop I've ever been to, the mom and pops, like here in my hometown, Tamarack Armory, love those guys. I think I can have a link down in the description. Check them out. If there's something that you need, get a hold of them. Shameless little plug for them. They're great guys. Anyways, with that being said, again, any mom and pop gun shop I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of them. I love to go to gun shops. It's my thing. They're not scanning barcodes. You get a carbon copy receipt. They literally handwrite a receipt saying you bought this, 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 and this. And then if you pay with a card, what do? They go over to the card machine, punch in the total that your purchase is for. I mean, heck, a lot of times you can watch them do it right there on the calculator before they go punch it into the card machine. They, do the math right there. Here in PA, we have a 6% sales tax. So, you do, $500 times 6%, that's $30, and then you go punch in $530. The only thing that the credit card company is going to know that you bought is $530 worth of stuff at this establishment that has this code linked to it. You could have bought ammo, you could have bought a firearm, you could have bought a holster, or holsters if you're, good golly. I mean, I guess, some Western style rigs, gun belt could get up there for a custom made one, but, I digress. They're not going to know exactly what you bought by doing that. But if you're that worried about it, use cash. When it comes to your mom and pop shops, a lot of them charge a premium for a card purchase because they're getting charged by the processor. I've been to shops that add on 3%, 5%. I've even heard of shops adding 10% on for a card purchase. Now, some of those shops will put that automatically into the price. Others will just say, when you're going to check out, say, hey, you're giving us a card, that's going to be an additional 3%, which most people are like, whatever. Personally, I don't like paying that extra 3%. Plus, I still like dealing with cash. It's not that hard to stop at the bank before I'm going to the gun shop, make a withdrawal, or stop at the ATM, make a withdrawal, and go and hand them cash. I don't know, just something about using cash that I still like. Heck, I've been to shops that actually have a cash price on the ticket for the firearm as well as a card price, and then you can actually see the difference. And depending on what the firearm is, sometimes it's $25, $50. I've even seen a difference of $100 for paying cash versus a card. And again, this goes into the processing fee from the processor that they're using to run those cards. So here's another issue, though. We mentioned cash, and this is where maybe you should be worried about this instead of, they're making this big number, so they can track your guns. They're not tracking your guns. I'm sorry. They're not. The credit card companies aren't doing it. Again, could there be an issue where they're like, oh, well, this person, spent $1,000 at a gun shop, because we have this code, and they contact law enforcement? Yeah, that could be another issue. But guess what? Law enforcement shows up. Hey, we'd like to talk to you. Can I help you, officer? Yeah. Did you make a purchase on this day for this amount at this establishment? Do you have a warrant, sir? No? All right. Well, you need to leave my property. But anyways, I believe it was a week ago today, today being September 23rd, so I believe it would have been September 16th, the Biden administration announced that they are going to be rolling out plans to get rid of cash. They want all currency to be digital. So no longer will we have dollar bills, will we have change or anything like that? No, everything's going to be electronic. And if this credit card thing is a worry to you, that should be a worry to you. The government going, yeah, we're not going to have cash, and everything's going to be digital, and we're going to be able to track every purchase that you make. We're going to be able to track every penny that goes into your bank account. We're going to be able to track everything that you have bought. That should be a much bigger issue. But I haven't heard anybody complaining about that. And if you don't believe it, go look it up. And also, there's a thing called the Federal Register. If you don't know what the Federal Register is, go just Google it. Federal Register will come up. I think it's federalregister.gov or something like that. But on there are all kinds of things that you can leave comments that the government's looking to do, things like that. So if you have a opinion on it, you get to leave a comment. Now, for the government had a comment period up, I think earlier this year, if I remember correctly, for 4 months, where they were trying to propose, yeah, we're going to get rid of cash and have everything be digital, kind of like what the heck, Bitcoin. And for 4 months, people could have commented on that. How many people do you think actually commented on that? Now the government's like, yeah, we're going to be following through with this, or at least we're going to try. But you know what? They also announced it, like I said, last Friday. Why do they announce things on a Friday? Because nobody's paying attention on a Friday. Everybody's worried about their life. They're worried about getting home. They're worried about, what they're going to be drinking Friday night. They're worried about, we got to get kids from school and then we're going on a camping trip or, whatever the crap it is. So they love to release stuff like that on Friday because they know people are going to gloss over it. They're not paying attention. They don't care. And like I said, if you're worried about the credit card thing, that is something that you should be far more worried about. So again, when it comes to, this number that's being created by the international, whatever the frick exchange it is, and credit cards companies are going to be able to, track what you buy and everything. They might know that you went and bought something at an establishment that sells firearms. Yes. But at the end of the day, they're not going to know if you bought firearms, if you bought ammo, if you bought ammunition, if you bought MREs, because a lot of shops sell MREs. They don't know if you bought patches or stickers or gun oil or safe or slings and just little accessories and bits and parts and pieces. They don't know any of that because, again, if you go to a big box store, maybe. But if you're going to your mom and pops, they don't have a freaking clue about what you're buying because it's not getting put through that way. Nothing is itemized at the big box store because at the mom and pop shops because again, they are going through, they handwrite your receipt, they do your total right in front of you, then they walk over to the credit card machine, type in, whatever numbers for the total of your purchase and send it through. The only thing that the credit card company will know if you buy from your mom and pop shop is the total that you spent there. That's it. If somebody could please tell me how they'll know what firearm that you bought and how they're going to register it and keep track of all that and everything else, I would love to know. Please let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Like I said, I think a lot of people are making a big deal about this because it is something to fearmonger over and, just get people started up. I think it's something to keep an eye on, but at the end of the day, I think it's just a giant distraction and we've got some other things to worry about. So thank you for watching. Hit those like, comment, share, and subscribe buttons. I'll catch y'all later.